So Bitcoin value proposition. The question is that what value do you get from UBN? That is it. And we said yesterday that Bitcoin has got two values. The one type of value is known as commodity value, and the other type of value is known as utility value. And that is the totality of Bitcoin, commodity value and utility value. It's very important to know this so that people don't confuse you with stories. People have stories to say, but commodity value and utility value. Commodity is the value established at the moment, moment by moment by moment. It's also known as present value. Utility value is the value that you get from paying for something with Bitcoin. That is past value. So while commodity value is present, moment by moment, utility value is value created in the past. Value created in the past is like when you go and buy something, say a pair of shoes, or you pay for your electricity. You see, when you buy, or even you buy a car, when you buy something, the value of that thing was created before you went to buy it. So it is the past value. So Bitcoin has both values, commodity value and utility value. And I want to show you, commodity value is created at the moment. Maybe before I show you the slide, which is very, very important, I want to show you an illustration of Bitcoin, how Bitcoin created commodity value for itself. Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin in 2009 and then published it in 2010. And for a long time, you can see that the value of Bitcoin was very, very low on the ground, creeping on the ground like a caterpillar. And then the caterpillar pupates, and then after it pupates, hatches into a butterfly, and the butterfly takes off in a very upward trajectory. That is, people were speculating on Bitcoin. But between 2009 and maybe 2016, 2017, people didn't do much with the Bitcoin because Bitcoin was under a lot of pressure from the government of the United States. And Satoshi Nakamoto could not do anything to keep it up. And of course, he disappeared. We never know where he lives or is today. But some people came in and stepped in at around this time, 2016, and pushed Bitcoin, and Bitcoin left the ground and went on flying in a flying trajectory and spiked up to a very, very high value of $20,000 per coin. Okay, and then after that price crashed, went all the way down to about 4,000, and then recovered a little bit. But you can see it's never gone back to the spike of 20,000. Okay, that is commodity value of Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is following a similar trajectory, where we published Bitcoin in 2018 on December 20th, and then it's doing its ground caterpillar job, creeping on the ground, and you see sometimes last year, 2019, we did an airdrop, and then there's so many people holding UBN. You find them on either scan. We weren't trading much, and then we did what? In January this year, January, we asked for people to go in and buy out those extra UBNs, and you can see these spikes here: one spike, two spikes, three spikes indicate that some people, maybe, or someone, not many people, but a few people, went out and bought the UBN from the market. But then these spikes come down because the buyout was not consistent, and then dropped again. And then later this year, last month in March, maybe 2 months ago now, we got some other people coming to buy out, and then coming down, or also coming down to the ground, because the buyout was not consistent. But now we are now here at the end of April, another one spike buyout, but it wasn't consistent. So you can see the spike, these spikes always come down to come down. They find their way down. But even that, even then, that's happening. The price is actually changing. The change in price. The people who bought UBN between January 20th and February 20th have made 200% in profit. Actually, that price of UBN has changed 200%, and that's remarkable. There is no other investment in this world that changes in value like that, particularly if people are working together. If people are working together, and this is the commodity. This is the commodity value of UBN. You can see that the commodity value of UBN is beginning to rise, and what we're asking people is to help this price not to come down again. Once the price comes up to here, this 125 is already past there. If you keep knocking out these zeros, we keep knocking out these zeros. Once we knock out these zeros, we knock out the zeros, then we go to $1 maybe, and I'm looking forward to that moment in this May, this month of May, that we mobilize a lot of people to come here and purchase these UBNs, and so that they can stay up and the price stays up. This is community work, and of course everybody makes money. That means that if you bought UBNs at the beginning of February, right now you have 200% value, 2,000% increase in value, which is very good. And I know quite a number of people like that who came in and bought a lot. I want to show you the very last slide, but we're going to come back to it again. This slide is the sell orders on Phoenix Box. And maybe if you haven't been here before, you can ask questions. You can see right now there's a lot of sell orders. In fact, yesterday there were more. We had 390. I think someone came in, or some people came in here and bought out 100 million UBN. 100 million UBN. Right now we have 292 million UBNs left, and this is what I was talking about. Now we need to buy all these sell orders. And when you buy all these sell orders, because we are many, if each one of us came here and bought 1 million, 1 million UBN, 1 million UBN, then the price is going to be high and stay high, and everybody is going to make money. And so that is about the commodity value. So commodity value helps you make money no matter what. But and a lot of money, like the holders of Bitcoin made so much money, but Bitcoin dropped suddenly. Why did Bitcoin drop? You know what? Bitcoin dropped because it did not have utility value. Bitcoin was created as digital gold. Digital gold is this store of value, but it's not a utility value. Commodity is for storing value, that you can go and buy things. No, you can store money, and of course, it's not for using every day. And because of that, the price for Bitcoin was not sustainable, because there was nothing else to come here and sustain that price. Like when you buy Bitcoin, how do you use it? We haven't really worked out. And Bitcoin was not created for a project, for any particular thing to do. It was created as gold. Like nobody goes to the supermarket and buys things with gold, because gold is supposed to store your value, but not to be used. It's just like diamonds, beautiful but no utility. Okay, and Satoshi Nakamoto perhaps had planned to create utility for Bitcoin, but he didn't, and he disappeared because maybe he was scared of the law enforcement. Okay. By contrast, Eureka, we have created a utility value, exemplary utility value, so that we can, it doesn't drop. It's let's say we don't get this deep. Once everybody is buying it aggressively, then it doesn't just drop. We can have its uses for the UBI, and UBI is structured as or programmed as universal basic realistic income coin. Universal basic realistic income coin. If you look at that, it stands for UBRI, Universal Basic Realistic Income Coin. Basic realistic income, or basic, yeah, realistic income is just having enough money to meet your needs, your basic needs. And that is why we built UBN, so that it can help people in the world, let's say in this part of the world, to meet their basic needs. The greatest need for a person is health. Okay, health is one of the most basic needs, as we were told by Abraham Maslow in 1949. But as you see in these theories, the two theories here, one health and sustainability theory, they have been working in operation together, but they don't help people to meet their basic needs. Okay, so in one health theory, this is by World Health Organization. You know that the World Health Organization was established in 1946 and headquartered in Geneva. They said that to produce health in a human being, we have to think about the health of animals and the health of the environment. And we call that one health, the health of animals and the health of the environment. We think about animal health because animals contribute 99% of diseases that become pandemics. I think it's almost all of them. Now, we are dealing with what pandemic? Yeah, you got that right. Coronavirus, COVID-19. Where did COVID come from? From the animal kingdom. Yeah. They said that some people went in the wet market in China to go and buy do what, and then I think they were eating bats, and then the virus jumped from the bats to humans. That's how it occurs all the time, every time. When you see a pandemic, like you have avian flu, we have swine flu, we have Ebola virus disease, uh, viruses jump from animals to humans, and then in a process known as zoonosis. So when viruses jump from, even not just animals, say bacteria and fungi, let's say infections in an animal jump into human and becomes a pandemic, an epidemic, a pandemic. Ebola virus disease. And why do humans go to look for animals? To get protein. Protein. Humans need protein for their own health and well-being. And so if you don't give human protein, like make a very nice make a very nice butchery where they a clean butchery, then people are going to the forest to hunt for food. Even some of them is not hunting the food in the forest, like what happened in Wuhan. And it is animals are dirty. They have a lot of diseases. When we come to human beings, they become epidemics. The next thing is the environmental health. Environment, whether it's a built environment, like say housing, you could have people living in slums and places like that, and big health hazard, or even the non-built environment, the natural environment can be dangerous to the people because natural environment is can be having problems in a natural environment, like what uh, changes in what's called climate change, and people are not resilient to climate change because they are lacking something. And so then, of course, the human, it's about the biology of the human. That depends on what you eat. If you don't eat well, you're going to get sick. Okay, so don't go and eat such bad food all the time. There, it's going to destroy your body, or even drink too much. And of course, there is the human genetics that determines. But above that, the animal health and environmental health. But you can see this theory excludes the economy or the health of the pocket. The pocket has to be healthy in order for you to be healthy, because you cannot improve the health of a poor person in the long term. But the World Health Organization forgot that, and for years they've been working. This is why we have not been able to achieve any health whatsoever. And when diseases like coronavirus, this come, even if we have animal health in the theory of WHO, we are not able to deal with pandemics. You see that. Now, don't talk about Trump. It's worse. Now, in 1972, I think 1974, a guy known as Elkington, he's a business guy, University of London. He talks about companies. A company wants to be healthy. A healthy company is one that thinks about the people, the environment, and the economy. I mean, you want to have a good company that is rich. Think about these three things. Think about your employees and where they live, and think about uh, everybody else outside there in where the company is located, and then think about the environment, how you're doing, what you're doing to the environment as a company, so that you make money. It's known as economic health. Now, Elkington is not in health or even medicine, but he knew that economic, yeah, that means the bottom line. Yeah, the bottom line is matters to the success of the people. But you see, these two these two theories. Well, Elkington didn't care about animals. Okay, animals can go there, cause disease. They don't care. But you know, Elkington was not thinking about animals. He was talking about for the sustainability of the planet. Mm. And his theory, which has got these three bottom lines: human, environment, and economy, we got a triple bottom line, TBL. This triple bottom line is used today as corporate social responsibility, and companies report it and get a lot of money from 180 because of CSR reasons. But you see, although these two theories are seeking health, each one is missing one thing from the other. You know, the sustainability theory is missing animal health, and of course, the One Health theory is missing economic health. And so we don't get health in total. So in Ubrica, then we said, let us now combine the two theories and remove this tension that's occurring, which is this tension that between the two theories is what causes what causes what? Is what causes a lack of health in the world. And so the functional structure of Ubrica then combines One Health and sustainability theory. We add economy to One Health, and we call that the fourth element. And in this fourth element, then we have a functional structure that is working. To make this work, then we create a business model that integrates, that also serves as a utility function for Ubricoin. You see that if you have to have economy, let's say this, we call this the fourth element triad, is we have people in a community, like in a village, and we have a marketplace, and you have the universal knowledge. What happens to people in the village is that people in the village produce things, but they have no knowledge of how to add value to those things. They don't have knowledge because the knowledge is coming from somewhere like the university or institution of learning, but that knowledge does not get out of the university. And you're going to see why. So if now when people make things in a university, make things in the village and take them to the market, they don't have market at all. We have the only market available for Kenyan thing. It's in a Sokom Jinga, where we call Sokom Jinga. There's Sokom Jinga every town. That means the market for things without knowledge. What does knowledge do? Knowledge adds value. You know, knowledge adds value to a product. For example, if you produce bananas in your village and you don't add value to the bananas, you better eat all the bananas before maybe a week or two because they're going to rot. If they rot, then you have no bananas to sell. But to know what to do with the bananas, you have to go to somebody who has knowledge, let's say high quality knowledge from the university, and then bring that person to your community, and that person will train you what to do with the bananas, like to add value to them. For example, you could dry them in the sun, you could grind them to make powder, you could make a banana puree, things like that. They package, and then when they're nicely packaged, they are labeled, put in the shelves of a supermarket. So this is what we propose with the Eureka project, is get the university on board, and we did quite a bit of research to find out why is the knowledge in the university not traveling out to go to the village to help add value to the products. Then you know what was surprising, that we identified two problems, that the university knowledge requires a channel to travel out of the university. Just like your car needs a highway, or maybe an airplane needs an airport, you need an infrastructure that helps knowledge to travel. But knowledge is information. What's the infrastructure for information? Basically, the knowledge travels from one place to another through money. Money is a channel for transportation of knowledge. Then when knowledge travels, it needs somewhere to land. And that we call it a building in the village that can be used for enhancing value of the bananas using that knowledge. We call it a produce value addition center, PVAC, right? Then when you create those things in the village, you add value, you have to sell them. So you create a retail store where people driving by can go and buy value added. And then you take photographs and put them in an online market. And in the online market, now you can put in online, we call it Sokonjanja. You can now sell knowledge enhanced products, and that's what we are planning to do. And then supposing in that PVSC where knowledge comes, it's add value, and then you have a clinic right by the side of it, because the work of adding value requires employees. You have to employ a lot of people, and you can employ people from the whole village to come and work on, say, adding value to bananas, adding value to mangoes, adding value to potatoes, whatever is produced. And then even when animals, you can add value to animal products. We have meat, we have skin and hide and stuff like that, and in a PVSC. And this unit where people are coming to do all those things is called a URCC, the Eureka Retail Clinical Center. And members who come there, the members of community who come there, they are known as chapter members. And when you put it together and you have the Soko Janja marketing these things in the whole world through the speed of light, then you have the fourth element, that's economic development. You know that economic development is by far the greatest cause of improvement in health. And therefore you have universal basic income. And universal basic income means that people can have universal health, because as people are selling their things, some money would be coming back to the community to fund health itself. Now, we have created the UBN as both channel for transportation of knowledge and a transporter. Is that we need a channel. Let's say a channel is like a highway, and a transporter is the car. So UBcoin can handle both jobs, because that is what the money is supposed to do: help you transport and also serve as a channel. The channel is low entropy. We say that low is a stable channel, but the knowledge that's coming from the university is very high entropy, because the difference in knowledge between knowledge in the university and knowledge in the community is very high. That's known as high entropy knowledge or system. In that system, then only UBN can handle that. And I'll tell you why Kenya shilling cannot handle that, and other fiat money like the US dollar. They haven't been able to do it, and so there is no help. So you can have universal health access. Universal health access is equals to universal basic income, which is equals to University Science and Technology Park multiplied by Produce Value Addition Center, that's PVAC, multiplied by a retail system, see that retail store and Sokochanja, multiplied by health clinic, all raised to the power of UBN. See that? Now that you have a complete set of sustainable One Health community. Because it's sustainable One Health community, because people who live there are going to be climate resilient, they're going to be low carbon footprint people, they are going to be healthy, and they're going to be wealthy and have well-being. See, five things coming out of there. Okay, then I just put this slide here and I showed it yesterday to illustrate why the fiat currency or Kenya shilling or similar money like US dollar doesn't have the power, or doesn't have the power to do this work, to act as a channel. See, channel, this one. And why digital money, but not just digital, but blockchain money has extreme power and capability. This work comes from physics, works of physics and mathematics. This is coming from the mathematical theory of communication that was given to us in 1948 by Claude Shannon. Claude Shannon is the man who is responsible for this information age, by the way. But what we didn't do with the information age is to find out how does money work as information. So we still have notes, coins, metallic coins, which are material stuff. But when now money becomes information, that you're again digital currency, and then becomes decentralized, like you have in the blockchain money, it becomes very powerful. Now, Claude Shannon told us in 1948 that communication, actually, Claude Shannon was working on the theory of communication, and he said that everything is communication in this world, okay? Like now we are just communicating, and now we can communicate. You guys are all over the world, and I am here in Nairobi, but we are communicating. So the clarity of the channel, which is what Claude Shannon was working on, was about how do you the message that is created is received exactly the way it is on the other side. Kenya shilling is not like that. See, like, for example, you are at the university and you want money for your research. So that money can be appropriated, by a good government as a grant to your work, but the money is not going to arrive to you the same way it was created. Mhm. So what happens? The money is going to be go through administrative process, and a lot of money is lost. So then, but Claude Shannon said that the capacity for the channel to transmit information depends on the bandwidth of the channel. That means how much money, bandwidth is how much money, yeah, that is how much money can you send to somebody doing research and why. And then it's based log based 2 because it's binary. 1 plus signal over the noise, and this is where the heart of the matter is. That the signal in Kenya shilling, with the signal is your knowledge. Say you are working, you're a smart guy, you want to create something to add value to products. That's a signal. You need to bring it to the university, to the village. But you ask for the money from the government. To receive money, you could take 5 years. What's happening to your signal that time? And then the money comes in with a lot of noise. First of all, you have to fill in a lot of paperwork, blah, blah, blah. That's called noise power in words. And you find that the noise in fiat money overpowers the signal power. Yeah, there's so much noise. Now, if the signal is very high and the noise is very high and the signal is very low, then also depends on how the money is created. Money is created and issued only to people with money. If you didn't have money before, like a big tract of land, to bring your title deed to the bank cannot give you money, even if you have 2 PhDs. Why? Because knowledge is not security as far as our economy is concerned. And that is why we create things without knowledge, and then we take them to the market, which we know. Things without knowledge are selling in Socom Jinga. So Socom Jinga is the significance of this. So there is so much noise in Kenya shilling, how it is issued. The banks are giving you a headache, the government is giving you a headache, and whatever. They eat all the money. By the time it comes back to you, it's finished in power. So the channel, if you find the channel, if this is greater than S, then you have a log of 1 here. Log of 1 is 0. Even if the bandwidth is $1 billion, which is not, then B to the power of 1 is 0. So capacity of Kenya shilling and fiat currency is 0. That is why we don't have money for doing this work. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show you today. And then, of course, I wanted you to read these numbers. Then Caleb quoted the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up there and buy all the UBNs from the Asians who are holding it," and then we can say it is. We are well able to overcome this thing. We have a lot of people holding UBNs right now who are not Kenyans, they are Asians, and that's not good. I'm so glad yesterday people went out and bought about 100 million UBN, but you see we still have 292 million left. Let us buy all this out today, and you will see the price changing. Yeah. So we have 6 minutes, and that is what Pastor Zipporah had requested me to go over that slide again. This slide, and I would like to invite people to ask me questions or discussion for 6 minutes. Then we can stop there. Hello. Okay, you can unmute. You can unmute yourself. First of all, thank you so much for coming. We have the Jonas, we have McGee, we have P70593 and Robert Thiongo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We started without greetings, and the reason we did that is because this thing is timed, and time gets finished very quickly. Any questions? Questions? Let's see, maybe there's a question, somebody. Let's ask. Who else? Oh, is unmuted. Unmute yourself. Joyce, hello.
Hi, Dr.
Yes, good morning.
So I've been getting a question to the two values you mentioned about commodity value and utility value.
Yeah.
The way you explained it is very easy to understand.
Yeah.
But what is the connection between Ubrica and the coin? What's the connection?
The Ubrica itself, the project.
Yes.
Ubrica is a project. I think I'll just take you back to that illustrative diagram of this one. Ubrica itself, maybe I didn't say this fourth element is the basic working unit for Ubrica. All right, it's like a human body. A human body has got cells. It's made of cells. We are not just one body. We are just millions of cells there. And so, what happens when you have so many cells? Those cells have to communicate to one another. Every cell is contained. Okay, so this is a kind of a cellular structure whereby if even in your muscles, the muscle is made of millions of cells. And so this kind of a unit, which is just a basic unit, we can have it anywhere on the ground in Kenya, in the community, in the villages, in all villages. And you see, this fourth element triad, which has got the URCC, means that we build a clinic and produce value addition center and a retail system called Sokojanja, which has to get information from the university. We have 66 universities in Kenya. So the idea is to go to every community, particularly when you sell a lot of UBN, when you get a lot of UBN and trading very well, we can use that money, or we shall use that money to create these units in every community in the country. Then we have all those, initially we thought we were going to create 100 retail clinical centers like this one. But when it comes now and we have UBN, we can build even more depending on how the willingness of the people to host a produce value addition center. But they'll have a clinic in the retail system. And of course, there is a university in every county. And we have been working with the counties to see how we can put this. It becomes very easy. The thing that was lacking is a channel of money. Then when all of these things are there in the peripheral, then, and you see, it's called decentralized manufacturing. Like you can have people in any one of these produce value addition centers manufacturing things, a lot of different things. And then we connect that to the biomedical industrial city, which we propose to be the central system, with epicenter for manufacturing in Kenya. And of course, because there's enough money and a lot of knowledge in the country, we can manufacture amazing things, including medicine, biomedical devices. But that requires a big center. But all these centers are connected. I need to add another slide there where all these centers, this triad, for the element triad centers, are connected to the biomedical industrial city. You know?
Okay.
And that is the key. That's how it connects. And of course, we needed Ubricoin, or we needed money to transport knowledge and to act as a channel in a place and destinations. One thing that struck me when I went to JQuat is that JQuat, we asked them, where do you send all this knowledge when you train all these people? Interestingly enough, or maybe sad enough, there is no market for knowledge from a university. So I told the guy, there's a lady in charge of the place, and she's CEO of this like science and technology parks. I told her where you are suffering is that you don't have produce value addition centers in the village where you can employ people. But she said, how do we do it? How we do it is get UBN. And we encourage everyone in Kenya to get UBN. Then we can get all the, and the people who come to work in these produce value addition centers, they are graduating from these colleges. And of course,
Okay.
big market for knowledge. All right. So maybe one more question. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Joyce. I think that's it. It's just that having this unit, and you have these units everywhere in the country, then the biomedical industrial it becomes very, very easy to implement. Of course, having UBN is not a problem because having UBN enables this work to come out very, very, very easily and become very, very successful in that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I see this happening very fast because the job here right now is for us or every one of us to participate in getting these UBNs off the market. And what's going to happen when we get these UBNs off the market? The UBN value will be very high, and of course, people can buy and hold maybe for about 6 months the UBNs so that the price stabilizes. When the price of UBN comes to $1, we have a lot of negotiation power because we have 20 billion UBNs already published.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you think we're going to stop there because our time is up? But thank you so much